Hello guys, so in the previous video I show you the video where I'm explaining what to do with stressors and negative emotions, and in this video I will show you how to change those stressors. So basically the point is to change the view of your stressor. And I have that video, it's also the part of the course Stress Masterclass. And let's see, how can we change the stressors and how can we change those negative emotions that we are pushing under the carpet, and because of that we feel anxiety as a product of that. Okay, it's time to do something with those stressors. As you can see, I deleted these parts here, and now we make some changes here. When, it's now why, okay? And I feel it's now changed. Here are our stressors that we identify. Now we have to answer the question why this represents the stressor for me, because stressor is really individual, all right? It's not something that is general for all people on earth. That's good fact, because that means that we can work on it. Something is stress for me, but that's not stress for my neighbor. Something is not stress for you, but for your neighbor it's a huge stress, all right? So why is that like this? What's going on there? It's all about thinking style. It's all about belief system and perspective. Okay? We know that we have external triggers and internal triggers. So here, external trigger is car radio. It's something physical. It's something that is outside. Okay? It's not so personal. So, why this car radio is so annoying for me? Why is this stressor for me? It's just going on my nerves. Okay. And now here's the part where we actually do something. Change. The question here is, what can I do to change this part? To make this stressor to become non-stressor. Okay? So here, we'll start here because this is the easiest one. I can simply, okay, not switch, let's write. We can turn off the radio, and that's it. You switched off the stressor. Okay, so we can do that with some physical and external stressors. We can avoid them. But the real problem is with personal stressors. And those are the examples. Social events, overthinking open space. We have those stressors because of something that happens in our mind. So change here will be mind change. What are we going to do? We will try to make some changes in our belief system and thinking style in order to change this part here. Okay, so let's continue with this example of my client. So in our counseling and coaching sessions, we identify that he had a problem with social events. And we done huge exploration. We had so many when and whys. And then we conclude that he had the fear of rejection. Fear of rejection is okay. We all have that fear since we're born, okay? Since we're little kids. It's completely natural. But what is the problem here and why it's became a stressor is because of catastrophic thinking. his perspective is that it will be terrible. It's a disaster if he is going to be rejected from the social environment, from the social group, social event. Okay, so let me keep this story short. After many coaching sessions, it was successful. Okay, he succeeded to change the belief system. We used some exercises, for example, exercise so what? So what will happen if he says something wrong? He was so afraid that he will say something wrong in the situation, that people will laugh at him, that he will be humiliated. All right? So we practice that technique. So what if I say something wrong? So what if? Okay? And then he started to use some different thinking styles. He started to think, it's okay, it's not catastrophic, it's okay. So what if I am rejected? What? What is the most terrible thing that will happen? I will be rejected. And what? What then? You will go and you will be a part of some other group. Okay? So the point here is, what can I change in my mind to help myself to make this stressor disappear, to not be stressor for me? Okay? So he basically turned this fear of rejection in some another belief. So what? Everything will be okay. It's not going to be that catastrophic. Okay. So when he started to use this thinking style and this belief, at the end, when you finish this, it's really important to use this part, to really use it. Okay. So he started to use this technique and this belief style, and he started to go more to social events. He became more relaxed in social situations. Okay. Example number 2, overthinking. Okay, this is the common problem, especially with people with anxiety. Those 2 examples. Okay. I'm overthinking. I'm overthinking about future. It's okay. But what is the problem? I think negatively. I suppose negatively. Because my why is uncertainty. Okay. I feel worry because when I think about future, I think about uncertainty. I feel I'm worried because uncertainty. Okay. We cannot just see the future. All right. What we do when we think about past? We remember some things and people from our past. But when we think about future, we imagine. Okay? We imagine. So we're using our imagination to think about how things will be in the future, how I will be in the future, who I will be in the future, and what outcome will be. Okay? So the problem here is that people who concern that this is the stressor for them, they use negative imagination. They think about bad things that could happen and bad outcomes. So my change here will be, I will use positive imagination. Okay? I hope you can see well. So I will decide to use positive imagination because we have a possibility to think positively and to think negatively. And we will probably not affect on what actually will happen. Okay, maybe if law of attraction really works, we will not talk about it right now, okay? But if you use negative imagination, what can you achieve? Nothing. You can just be stressed. So be aware and decide to use positive imagination, to think about positive outcomes. Alright? And let's see this stressor here. Open space. People with social anxiety and general anxiety often have this problem, okay? They really feel comfortable at home, and when they need to go out, they feel really anxious and nervous, and that really can ruin their lives, okay? So when I ask myself why I think this is my stressor, why is this something that makes me feel so anxious and nervous, we came to the one simple answer: I am not safe. Those people feel safe at home. For example, when I was talking with one of my clients about this problem, he had this stressor, he said, like, literally, I feel I'm not safe when I get out because I think I will pass out. I asked him, so where do you feel safe? He said at home, and he lives alone. Okay? And then I asked him, so how is possible that you have a fear that you will pass out and you feel more safe home alone without any help? And when you get out into the open space, there are so many people that can help you. And something changed in his mind in that moment, okay? And then he realized I'm actually safe outside. Okay. I was really happy when he came to this conclusion because this really helped him. I mean, it's so logical. We already know some of those things, but we have to put them on a paper sometimes to convince ourselves that they are the truth. Okay? So convince yourself. Put things on a paper. Say aloud. Okay? So what you basically do when you download the PDF file below, when you identify your stressors, you ask yourself a question. Why is this a stressor for me? When you answer on this question, try to replace this one with this one. Ask yourself, what can I do to make myself feel better? To make these stressors disappear or be changed. Use logic and use rationalization. Okay, like this, like here. Not safe outside. I'm not safe outside, but basically what is the truth is that I'm safe outside. Here also, I use negative thoughts for nothing, just to make myself to be in a worry and in a stress. And I'm completely able to use positive thoughts. Why not?